Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I think we just went live. Hi, everyone. We are super excited for the workshop today. We have first off, Alyne, I watched some of your videos this morning and like the camel hook, looking at the camel first and then jumping back. I was like, what? This is awesome. So I was excited to watch your content after today. For everyone who's joining us, we appreciate you joining us live today. We're going to get started in just a few moments. What we would love is if you're in the chat, can you just let us know that you can hear us, that you can see us all right? Let us know where you're writing in from. I mean, I see folks already doing that. And for the folks joining, where it's 1 or 2 in the morning, we really appreciate you joining us in the evening. But yeah, just let us know you could hear us. Let us know you could see us all right. We'll get started in just a few moments. And if you could put in the chat what you're excited to learn today. I've seen so many of you already write in that you love Alyne and that you're here because you love the content she puts out. Let us know what you're here to learn today. Let us know what you're excited about today. And we'll get started in just a few moments. Alyne, can you just say a few words of hello to make sure everything's working on your side?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm looking at all of you guys talking in the chat. I see some familiar faces, Sylvia, Leo. So welcome, everybody, new and old. So today's presentation is partially something that we actually teach at the retreat. And then I added a few little extra slides and things that are new information I've been learning as I go along. So hopefully everybody gets something out of this, and hopefully you all find it worth your hour of your weekend.
Well, we'll get started in just a few moments. For anyone who joins late and you're watching this and perhaps you join even 10 minutes from now, don't worry, there will be a replay available. If you registered for this workshop, we're going to send out the link. Also, this YouTube link you're watching on, we're going to leave this up. So if you join late, if Alyne says something you want to go back and rewatch, totally cool. We recommend you do that. We're not going to take this workshop down. So this is something you can watch, and don't worry about the replay. We promise there will be one. Now, I think we've given folks enough minutes to join. I see people joining from all over the world, which is incredible. Alyne, today you're going to be covering how you became a full-time content creator in 2 years, right? And particularly, you're going to talk through how to make money as a digital nomad, which is something I want to know, right? I want to travel more and make money as I travel around. How to make money on social media, how you should pitch a brand, and you're going to share a bit about email templates to do that. And you'll also be talking about how to get a deal if you have 0 followers, which is something everyone faces when they just start out. I think some of these folks know you really well today in the audience, but for those that don't, I'm going to kick it to you, but can you please start with just a bit of background? Because I think you will be new to some people who are joining us today.
Sure. Yeah. Just in case there were some new people, even into my presentation, I have a short introduction of me and I am. And the way the presentation is set up, everyone, is at the beginning, I will talk a little bit about me personally, who I am, how I got to this point. That will just be maybe 5 to 8 minutes. Then I'm going to talk about you, right? What can you do? How can you get to that point? I just have the beginning because if somebody's teaching me something, I want to know, like, how did you do it, right? I don't want you to tell me how to do it. How did you do it? So I'll cover that in the presentation. I have some slides and pictures about my journey and the different steps and milestones. And then I have actually some even guest examples, like screenshots of other creators who got started. So I try to include a lot of real life examples so that you can try to find someone who you relate to if you don't necessarily relate to my journey, for example. So yeah.
So I'm bringing the presentation up. Take it away.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I can just click through from here, correct? On the slides.
Absolutely. Let's talk money. How I became a full-time content creator is on the screen.
Awesome. And just so all of you know, one of my team members, Ate, is in the chat. So if you have questions during the class, we're going to do a Q&A at the end, but she can answer questions during class as well because she's been to every single one of my retreats. So hello, everyone. Welcome, new people, old people. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alyne. I make videos on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all the places that you can watch videos. How did I get started, though? Well, just like 3 years ago, I was just a normal person who had never made a video, and I wanted to travel the world, and I was watching all these people on my phone, and I was like, how is this person traveling and they're a digital nomad and I'm not? I want to be one of those people. So one day I decided I was going to do it. So how did I do it? First of all, who was I before, right? I was raised in Los Angeles, a small town in the United States, and I went to university. I was very religious. I was raised Mormon. I was going to church all the time. I was praying all the time. I was the perfect child. I got good grades, and I did everything I was told. I went to university. I got married, and then I got divorced. And I left my religion, and my whole life was falling apart at age 25. I was like the biggest failure I could possibly be at 25. I was already divorced. I had no job. The company my partner and I had made no longer existed. And I was starting from zero. And probably a lot of us at different points in our life are going to feel like we're starting from zero. Or even if things are going well, we want to restart, right? We feel stagnant and we want to start again. But what was really good about me hitting rock bottom is it gave me the feeling of, well, I can't go much lower than this, so I can kind of experiment and try new things. So it's actually very free. And I'm going to play you a video because a lot of times people think I just kind of got into video creation with zero background. That is not true. I've always been interested in video. In high school, I majored in film, like I took film classes. In college, I didn't study film, but I was always like working at the camera lab and just like I was paying attention to the video world. And I was actually part of a company, and this is one of the videos we made at that company. And what I loved about making this video is that I was able to finally feel like I was doing something that fulfilled my purpose, right? I was working with a client, Fresh Pet was the client, they're a pet food company, and I was able to do my passion, which is animal rescue, right? So I said to the company, hey, let's do this type of video, and you know what? Why don't we use shelter dogs as the actors in the video instead of, you know, getting purebred fancy dogs so we can promote adoption? And they agreed. So I just want to show you a short clip because I thought this was a really fun project and to give you some context on who I was before Dear Alyne and who you see now. So as you can see, I was doing video before, but I wasn't on camera. I was just the girl in the office that was like, guys, I have a crazy idea. What if we do this? And they were like, okay, let's do it. But after the divorce happened and the company went away and I wasn't having access to this anymore, I knew I needed to literally start over all by myself. And I knew I didn't really want to work with these companies and I wanted to do something different. And I'm a very passion-driven person. Like I care about certain topics and I really want to change the world. And so that's why I wanted to have 100% control over my own content. But I knew I wasn't ready to launch on my own. So I knew I needed to do the education segment of my life, right? I needed to teach myself how to do this. So my new goal was to become a digital nomad. And as many of you probably know, a digital nomad is just someone who can work online anywhere in the world, right? So you could work from Los Angeles, you could work from Bali, you can work from Albania. It doesn't matter, you just need Wi-Fi in your computer. And that was my dream, okay? So the way that I pursued this dream is I said, you know what should I do? I should work for a company that has something to do with travel. So I went on a job website and I just searched in the job travel box, jobs with travel. And I applied at a travel agency and I got hired. And I was not paid a lot. And it was not a glamorous job. It was me in a town near San Diego, California, in an old office from the 70s with like 4 other ladies. And I didn't care though, because I was in the industry, right? I was getting paid much less than my previous job, but I was focusing on learning over earning, right? So sometimes we focus too much on making money and it actually stops us from learning because maybe a job pays a lot, but we're not actually going to be progressing. And I 100% was prioritizing, I can learn a lot at this job. Now, did my boss know more than me about being a travel blogger or a creator? No, but I knew that being involved in the travel world would give me a lot of opportunities. So for example, I told my boss, hey, we need a website. Your website is bad. We need to make a new website and I will build it for you. Had I built a website before? Not really, not since like GeoCities in the 90s, but I learned, I taught myself, right? Because I wanted this opportunity. And then I took that website and I approached different bloggers because back then I wanted to be a blogger. I didn't know I would do video as well. And so I would approach the bloggers and be like, hey guys, if you respond to just these 5 simple questions by email, it will take you 5 minutes. I'll make an awesome blog post about you and promote you on our company's website. And I would I approach people with 1 million followers, or would I approach people with like 20 or 30,000 followers? 20 or 30,000, right? Because the people with 1 million, they're busy and they don't care about you. But the people with 20 or 30,000 followers are really excited. They're just getting started and they're more likely to respond, right? And they did respond. And I began to be part of this cool community of creators because I was providing value to them. And that's a lesson I took with me to video creation. Our job as creators is to provide value, period, right? So I was working this job. I was in the office every single day, 9 to 5, waking up, driving to work, going to the gym, going home, rinse and repeat. And I was like, I need to get out. I need to get out. I need to travel. So one day I got the courage and I said to my boss, I proposed to her. I said, dear Dochi, may I please work from home? And I will promise you that I will do a good job and we can have a test period. And if I'm working badly, you can fire me. And she said, okay, fine. And she gave me a work from home test period. And I worked extra hours without charging anything. I went above and beyond so she would be happy with what I was doing from home. And then I made my home Albania and I started traveling. And that's how I became a digital nomad. Okay, but what about video, right? So as I was doing this job, working remotely, I would accept any job that came my way because I was really in my learning mode. I wanted to learn about this travel world. So I accepted a job driving Porsches with rich people around Europe, and I accepted a job as a photographer. When people would ask me, can you do this? Even if I didn't know how, I would say yes. And I would stay up all night and learn how to do it. And nobody ever was unsatisfied with my work. So saying yes as you're getting started and taking risks is extremely important, right? Not any risk, but a mitigated risk, okay? Then after about a year of doing this, I'd been building my Instagram, but I wasn't making videos yet like I had at my old company. I was working on the learning. I met this guy in Israel. So this is another creator who now many of you probably know because he's massive. But back when we met, we were just 2 little podunk travelers, you know, wandering around the world. And he was making these little daily videos and I was doing my Instagram. And we would be doing his videos together as he was just getting started. And I was always trying to control what he would talk about. I was like, make a video about vegetarians, make a video about women's rights. And he was like, Alyne, just make your own videos. And I was like, ugh, he's right. I should just make my own videos. And so I started making my own videos. Okay. And I knew I had so much that I wanted to talk about. And all of the things I wanted to talk about were things that I cared about, like the stigmas associated with divorce or not eating meat or eating less meat or feminism. The F word is referring to feminism, right? Or the pressure on women to look a certain way or, you know, issues that other women face that maybe I don't face, right? I was finally able to share my passions through videos. All right. And this class today is very short. It's 30, 45 minutes. My masterclass is like 20 hours. So I'm trying to give you as much as I can. There's a lot more in my journey there, but I'm going to skip part of it because I want to share with you how you can make money, right? Once you start growing. So I just want to say the first year, I didn't make any money. And to be honest, my goal was not to make money. My goal was to make a difference and to feel proud of something, right? If your goal is to make money, that's not a bad thing, but you also need to have passion because this is a really difficult job and you need to really care and be excited about it. Otherwise, it's hard to maintain the energy necessary, okay? So I started making money on Facebook ads and slowly kind of got little brand deals. And then ultimately I decided I wanted to connect with the followers and I hosted real life retreats in Bali. You can see this picture here. I think this was our first ever retreat. And then Corona happened. So I just turned everything online. And now I've been running retreats online ever since. And of course I miss real life, but we must social distance, okay? So this is more for the new people here who don't know a lot about me. Now it's been 3 million followers, almost 500 million views later. 1,000 graduates from the program, working with all these brands that I admire, meeting presidents, doing crazy stuff. I can't believe this is me we're talking about, right? It feels like I'm talking about some other cool lady, but this can be you. This can be you. 3 years ago, none of you knew who I was. I never would have made friends with all of you, right? This can be you in just a few years. Anyone can do it, for real. But how? How? Alyne, you make it sound so easy. It's really hard. I know it's hard, but it's possible. Okay, so how can you do it? Now, I want to talk about 2 different ways that you can do it. There are ways you can be a digital nomad, okay, which means essentially you're working for someone else frequently, right? You're not like an entrepreneur. Or how you can do it via social media, because I'm known for social media, so I'm going to talk to you about that as well. So we have 2 segments. Segment 1, traditional jobs that I have listed here. Don't worry, I'm going to go into them. And then social media, which is video making, you know, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Okay? Let's go. I prefer when I can see you guys, your faces. I'm sad I can't see your hopefully smiling faces, but we shall carry on. Okay, traditional jobs. Let's talk about traditional jobs. How can you make money as a digital nomad? So remember, when I got started, I didn't just jump into the world and go, watch my videos and pay me. Thank you. No, I said, I'm going to get a normal job that I can work from anywhere while I'm learning. So what are some normal jobs that you can do that you can have a guaranteed paycheck? Because some of us, you know, we don't have savings. We need to pay our bills. So what's a job that will actually pay you to live abroad? Number 1, if you're listening to me right now, you're probably good at English, okay? And so if you're fluent in English, especially if you're a native speaker or you have some kind of degree or certification, you can become an English teacher. This is something I almost did in Japan. And then last minute I backed out because they assigned me to like a tiny town with 5-year-olds. And I was like, I don't know if I love 5-year-olds. Maybe I should be teaching like 15-year-olds, like older kids. So I backed out. But who didn't back out was Drew Binsky. And Drew Binsky is a creator that many of you probably know now. But he started teaching English in Korea, right? Because he was paid to learn about a new culture and to be in a new place. There's a few resources here. You can just screenshot these or type them out. But honestly, you can just Google it, like, where can I teach English abroad? You can also teach English online. There's companies like Palfish or other places where you can teach English to little kids in China. And those pay pretty well. And you can do that from your computer. You don't need to fly to South Korea or Japan, which, for example, might be closed now because of Corona. So that's one way you can do it. That's pretty accessible. You don't need a lot of experience. Another one that's extremely accessible is called woofing. Woofing. Who has heard of woofing, right? Woofing, is it like a dog? No. Woofing is worldwide opportunities on farms. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's essentially when you work for food and a place to live, right? This could be in Australia on a peach farm. It could be in, you know, Germany on a sheep farm. It can be like on a creative crafting place. So if you're artistic or you like nature, this is a really cool opportunity. And sometimes they give you a little bit of money too, but usually it's just an exchange. And now you get to be in a new country for free. And you're, you know, working with locals and getting to know the area, okay? So this is very cool for people just getting started. Another one that is less popular, like people just don't realize that it's available, is cat sitting or dog sitting or pet sitting or house sitting, right? So there's different websites. This is one of the most popular ones, trustedhousesitters.com. This is not sponsored, sadly. I should be sponsored by them. Just kidding. And they're an amazing way to kind of stay for free. This is my friend Sabrina. She teaches at some of our retreats. She's a blogger, a veteran blogger. And in addition to her blogging, she cat sits. And she even made an Instagram just to take pictures of the cats that she cat sits because she wants to provide extra value to the family she's cat sitting for. Why should they choose her over another cat sitter? Well, she clearly loves them. She posts these cute pictures when they're on vacation and they miss their cat. They're going to see Sabrina posting these cute cat pictures every day, right? Of their cat on her Instagram. Very cool. And so this is something you can either do as an exchange. You can stay for free in like beautiful houses all over the world, or you can even be paid. You can be paid from $50 to $100 a day, depending on the country. In Singapore, they pay a lot, for example, because they want someone they can trust to take care of their cat, their beloved. You know, it's like a another version of a child these days, or their dog, or their house, okay? So what else can you do? You have no following, right? You just want to start traveling and live around the world. You can be a yoga or sports teacher. Some of you may be interested in athletics. Maybe you played a sport in college or high school. Maybe you took a yoga certification class one time. You can do this all around the world. You can work at hotels. You can work with schools. You can work with sports programs. Here we have someone named Phil. He's a really cool guy. He teaches basketball all around the world. He works with different schools, and then he goes and trains the kids. This is him, I believe, in India. He was in India for a while. And so that's just such an awesome opportunity. And I have a lot of friends who also started out by teaching yoga, either at studios around the world or at hotels. Resorts need yoga teachers or other types of people, therapists, right? Because they're like, oh, come fancy people, we have yoga teacher. Okay, that could be you. Translator. This is something you can do from anywhere in the world. You don't need to be in a certain location. One of my best friends from university, this is the direction she went. She grew up in France and England, so she speaks both languages very well. And many of you listening, probably 90% of you have 2 languages that you're good at. You're bilingual. So you can be a translator. And you know, the best translation jobs are often best paid, are often the most boring. So like medical or financial documents, but they can pay pretty well, especially once you get started. And this is something you can do from anywhere in the world. You just need your internet, right? So this is such a cool opportunity. And then working remotely in general. So many of you right now probably have a job and you have a boss. And I know some of you who are here are working remotely, especially because of Corona. It's so much easier than ever to just say, I need to work from home, and just make your home wherever you want it to be, right? You can ask your current boss if you can work online. That's what I did. My boss had never had a remote worker before. This was 4 years ago. But I just explained the concept to her and made her feel very comfortable. Suggest a trial period. Don't leave the country yet, right? Do it from your house near the office, and then make sure that they see that you're killing it, right? Okay. So these are just a few options. You can also build websites if you're good at internet things, computer tech things, okay? Even I'm not good at these things, and I built a website for a National Geographic photographer. Okay, this is a fancy person, and I just had confidence. All you need is confidence. Can you do this, Alyne? Yes, I can. And then in addition to confidence, you must deliver. I delivered a great website, okay? Always deliver. Under promise, over deliver. And then volunteering. This is Ate, our wonderful team member. She's really good at finding opportunities. She got paid to volunteer. She got paid to play with dolphins in the nature, okay? So keep an eye out for different volunteer opportunities where you're doing stuff for an NGO or a nonprofit, all right? Okay, so that is a little bit about jobs you can do with 0 followers, have nothing to do with following, and are just about, you know, providing value to someone and can get you out of your home country. Now let's talk about social media. Okay, this is a little harder and it takes more work, right? It takes experience. Okay. Something I want you to think about right now is your income. This class is about money, so let's talk about money. What is your goal for income, right? You can type it in the chat. You can write it on a piece of paper. You can do whatever you want. Do you want enough money to just barely cover your costs? So what would your costs be? For me, that was around $1,000 a month would cover my costs, because I knew I would be traveling in Asia and it's cheaper and I can spend $30 a day. So that's $900 a month. So I knew I needed around $1,000 a month. Okay, so that was my bottom line goal. What's yours? Right? You need to know your goal to reach your goal, right? Or do you want to have a lot of money and save some money? Do you want to make $2,000 a month and save $1,000? Do you want to hire employees, right? Do you want to be like Oprah? Do you want to be like, you get a car, you get a car? What's your goal and how are you going to get there? All right. That's something to kind of keep in mind. And I think it's kind of fun to discuss in the chat with each other and kind of see what people's different things are. So you can drop it in the chat if you're comfortable, but no need to if you're not comfortable. Keep in mind that most content creators do not make money their first year. Okay. This is not an absolute. Some do. I have some graduates from my retreat who did make money in like months, but they are not typical. They are killing it and they are really just focused, right? But for most people, the first year you should have enough savings or you have another job, okay? So that way, if something doesn't happen right away, you don't feel disappointed. It also doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. If you're not making an income in the first year, it's extremely, extremely normal. And I want to show you an example.
You have to be clear in who your channel is for, and you can't just start a channel because you want to make a living. You're not going to be able to sustain it. Again, 2 years, no pay for this gal, but I kept uploading. And then I was basically not making loads for another year, if not 2 years on top of that. It wasn't about the money. I didn't even know I could make any money. I just loved being in this space and being able to talk to a community of girls who love the same ish that I loved, okay?
So that's another example of another creator who says the same thing that I'm saying. She didn't start it to make money. Now, does that mean you, in the back of your head, know that you could make money someday? That's fine. But generally, the creators that succeed the most are not ones where their #1 priority is money. Their #1 thing is passion or enjoyment or connection. And that's what keeps them going through the hard times, right? So she said she barely made money in the first 2 years, and she didn't make that much in the first 4 years. But now she makes a lot, right? But she stayed dedicated for 4 years. That's like you could get a college degree in that time period. Okay, so I want to show you a post from 4 years ago, now 5, when I was still 4. It's 2021, 4.5 years ago, when I posted in a random Facebook group, hello, are there any articles about the average rates charged for digital and social media? I don't know what to charge, blah, 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 blah. So I was just like a lost beginner, right? But I was doing the work. I show you this to show that even back then, when no one knew that I existed, I was learning, doing the work, right? I was posting in groups. I was trying to learn. I was trying to network, okay? So another way that you can make an income as a creator, that's not the straightforward, obvious answer of ad revenue or brand deals, which we will talk about, is selling a book or an ebook. This is one of my graduates, Aaliyah. If you're here, Aaliyah, hello. And she made a poetry book, right? It wasn't even a book about content creation. It's a book about poetry, but she's using her social media skills to promote her book. And she's self-published, which means that she kind of, you know, took care of the publishing, took care of the typing, took care of all the formatting, etc. You can also work with a publisher. So on the left, these are 2 creators who worked with a publisher, right? A large publisher. She might have worked with a small publisher, but these are big publishers, right? So this is when you have a little bit of a bigger following in general. Or I have another friend who had a small following, but is a great writer, right? But he was able to get a publishing deal because of his background in writing. So if you have a writing background and you have a small following, you still may be able to get a publisher because you're providing value, okay? And there's endless examples of these books. You can do a real book, printed, mailed, or you can do an ebook. Any one of you today could write an ebook in the next month. All you need to do is use Canva. My presentation is made on Canva, canva.com. It's a free website where you can do designs and stuff. They have templates. You can think to yourself, okay, what am I good at? I'm good at archaeology. I'm going to make a archaeology guide to my country. Or you can say, like my team member, Ate, how to volunteer, how to get paid to volunteer, and make like a 30-page ebook. And you can sell that to people because you're selling your knowledge, okay? And you don't need a big following. You just need some kind of network of people that know that they can trust you. You all have at least 100 friends probably on Facebook and other platforms, right? So another thing you can do once you've kind of grown, a lot of these, I'm showing you different stages, right? Selling a course is something you might do a little bit in a further stage. So selling a course is something that, you know, is becoming more and more common because people are turning to online education, right? People are realizing that university is awesome for certain things like, you know, being a doctor or something where you have to have a degree. But there's a lot of things you can't learn at university. Like what I teach in my course, you can't learn at university. It's just universities can't create course curriculums that quickly, right? So there's so much stuff there that you guys can offer. Each of you has something really cool that you know, and you could build a course. And I'm using Teachable. That's the platform that I'm on, Teachable. That's why we're here today. There's so many different platforms. I chose Teachable because they're highly recommended and so many people use them. So I just wanted something stable without issues. But of course, you can look at other options as well. You can also build your own website. It's just a lot of work, and I would save the work and just kind of use a pre-built place. And this is one of my students down here, Dot. She had already created the course before she took the class, but she kept learning, right? So she did an Instagram strategy for business growth. If you Google her, then you're going to get targeted by her ads because she's really good at ad targeting, right? And she sells her course for just $11, but she still makes tens and thousands of dollars because she does selling at scale, right? So she sells a lot of a cheap thing versus a few amount of an expensive thing, right? So you need to think of your strategy. If you sell a course, do you want to sell it at a low price and sell a lot of them? Or do you want to sell it at a high price and sell less of them? Okay, and you can Google information about that. I don't need to teach you that. That's on Google.
Yay, I like them.
Okay, I'm going to pause her. So what is affiliate marketing? This is another way creators online make money. This is not something I use a lot, but I know a lot of people love affiliate marketing, so I do want to mention it. And all of you have seen affiliate links somewhere, right? Let's say you're watching a YouTube video about a blow dryer, and you're like, is this blow dryer good? And you watch this review, and then in the subscription area, in the description area, I mean, there's probably a link that says something like, use this code for 20% off. That may be an affiliate link, right? Or if you're reading a blog post and then they're like, this link, you know, use this software that I recommend. It's probably an affiliate link. What's an affiliate link? So let's say I'll use an example of one affiliate that I work with, Safety Wing. It's a travel insurance company that I actually use. So I use their link. And if I talk about Safety Wing, I give people my link. And when they sign up, I get a small percentage of the sale, right? So here's an example of an affiliate integration. Integration just means when you have a video and you include information from some kind of advertising thing, that's called an integration. So let's watch this affiliate integration.
Oh, they're really cute. I will link all these frames down below if you guys want to match with me, get some matching frames. There are over 4,000 styles of eyeglasses and sunglasses available, and they have both in-house brands and also designer brands as well. And there's an awesome 50% off deal for you guys as well if you go through the links in my description box.
So that would normally, you guys always see these types of things, right? Now, it's not always an affiliate link. For example, I've advertised things that are 50% off for other people, but I'm not making anything from it. I'm just doing it. But in general, it's often an affiliate link, right? And actually something kind of fun is you can tell it's an affiliate link if you click on it and then it goes to and then you look at the URL. And if the URL changes really quickly from something like affiliate you'll see it for half a second and then you'll know that it's an affiliate link. That's just kind of for fun. So as you're learning like who uses affiliate links or not, you can kind of check the URL after you click on it and see if it changes. It'll often say like referral number 9744444, whatever. And as you can see, what she's, the sunglasses she's selling are like $150 because for her to get a 50% off code to you, plus her getting a commission, it needs to be an expensive product. That's why I don't do affiliate because you need to be doing it in mass numbers for it to really be super worthwhile. Another way you can make income as a creator, I mean, you can do this as not a creator as well, but it helps if you have a following, is speaking engagements. So as a creator or as any type of entrepreneur, you normally want more than one income stream, right? You don't want to depend on Facebook ads. You don't want to depend only on brand deals. You never know what can happen. My friend Drew, for example, his Facebook page recently had an issue and he had no ad revenue for 1 month. But thank goodness he also had his YouTube page and other income streams. So while it was very annoying, it's not the end of the world, right? That's why I do speaking engagements. It's another revenue stream. It's not my primary revenue stream. So for example, I may speak, I get invited to speak a lot of places for International Women's Day. So they, ask my speaking fee, I provide the speaking fee, and I talk for them. Did I always charge a speaking fee? No. When I was just starting, I did it for free because I prioritized learning over earning. And I knew I needed to become a good speaker, right? I didn't even want to get paid for my first event because I was like, what if I suck? You guys should definitely not pay me yet, right? Like, let me practice first and see if I freeze in front of all these people or not, right? So all my first engagements were free. And what that also does is it gets you in the speaking circuit, right? It gets you in front of the eyes of other people and they see you as someone. It gives them the idea, right? Once you see someone do something, you're like, oh, that person does this. I'll keep them in mind in the future for when we need someone, right? So you start doing it for free in general, and then you can kind of start charging. And I personally would always charge very conservatively when I was starting, again, because I wanted to build my reputation. Now I can charge more. I can charge, you know, if it's like a nonprofit, I'll charge like 500. If it's a corporation, I'll charge 10,000. So it's kind of cool because you control the fee, right? And it's just for 1 or 2 hours of your time normally. Cool. Yeah, and the rates for this, again, completely depend on you and your negotiation skills, right? And we'll talk about negotiation skills very soon. So I want to make sure we don't run out of time, so I'm going to kind of breeze over these. You can work with tourism boards. This was, you know, when I was in Taiwan.
Welcome to Trash Mountain, a mountain that is literally made of trash. But this looks really clean. It is! Because Taiwan has found a way to compress trash, bury it, and cover it with earth, transforming it from an ugly landfill to an award-winning park that doesn't.
So this was a sponsored video, but it's still so cool and it's super on brand and I would have made it for free. Don't tell them that. But the point is you can do a lot of tourism boards or brand deals that align with what you're interested in anyways, right? A lot of times people think of it as like, oh, you're selling out, you're working with tourism boards or with whoever, but it's really just an opportunity to get paid to make really cool content about recycling or being eco-friendly or whatever you want, right? And of course, you can turn down deals that don't align with your values. This one is a more advertising one, right? So this one was an organic integration. I put it on my page. You see it on a video. It's very natural. This one is I worked with a brand and I was like the actor, right? So I'll just play it for a few seconds.
Today I'm unboxing Mixtiles. Mixtiles is a company that takes your photos that you send them and turns them into picture frames. And they mailed them directly to me in less than a week. First impression.
So this was one of their most successful ads in history. Of course, because I did it and I'm very good at what I do. And I didn't charge very much, right? So some people might see that as a mistake. Like, Alyne, you gave them one of their top ads ever and you didn't charge enough. But I don't see it that way because I saw it as a good opportunity, right? Learning over earning, because I had never done this style of ad before. And I didn't want my first one, just turned out badly, to leave a taste in their mouth. Like, oh, she charged so much and she did a bad job. So it's a win-win, right? I did a good job. I didn't charge that much, but at least now this brand loves me and I can use them as a reference for other brands. And I also love to learn as a business person, the business aspect. How do they approach me? What is the contract like? What are the payment negotiations? What are the terms? I learn so much from every deal I do. So a lot of times I'll just accept deals just because I want to learn. I just did a deal yesterday because I wanted to learn about integrations on YouTube, and I'll show it to you later, okay? And then of course you can do ad revenue, which is based on your views, and that's a whole nother class, okay? So how should you pitch a brand, all right? The number one thing I do when pitching is called the hamburger method. And no, you cannot Google it because I made it up. It's not a real thing, but this is what I do. And it's a vegetarian hamburger because I'm vegetarian. So essentially what it means is, let me show you an example on the next slide. So as you can see here, when I list what I'm offering to the company or the brand, I list a lot of things. And this is what I mean by the hamburger. Here you have the bread, the lettuce, the veggie patty, you have the mayonnaise, the whatever you like, pickles, the tomato, and then you have the bread. I could have just emailed them and said, hey guys, can I post a picture in exchange for staying at your fancy, cabin? That doesn't look good, but this looks good. I'm gonna do this, and this, and all I'm asking is this small, tiny thing. I'm barely asking anything, right? So I always stack what I'm offering. And I'll show you another example later, okay? So this is also, the hamburger method is also about being efficient. If you're planning to go on a trip to a country anyways, plan work while you're there. Create a job, make a job, find work, find people to work with, and that way your flight is going to be compensated, right? I did this when I went to Taiwan. I said, I'm going to Taiwan anyways. Let me reach out to different companies there. Let me reach out to different people and make connections, right? It's not only about pitching, it's about how you think. Do a lot of things at once to be efficient, okay? So here's a pitch template. As you can see here, I said, Dear Joe, also emailed Keith. Not sure who the correct contact is. My name is Alyne, introduction. Here's my page. I hyperlink my page. This is the #1 mistake people make because I get pitched all the time for different things. They don't give me a link to their page. The people you are approaching are busy, okay? They do not want to take time Googling you and figuring out which YouTube page is yours or which. You need to link them to it. You need to make this the best, easiest email for them to read. It needs to be formatted nicely. It should not be a block of text. It should look like this. Little tiny line, tiny paragraph, done, 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 done. This is a short email. And the most important part is in red because I needed a response fast, so I put it in red. I have bold parts to highlight the important things. What I offer, what I ask, okay? I also emailed multiple people at the company. I emailed 3 people, Joe, Keith, and another lady. Joe said no. Keith didn't respond. And the last lady said yes. That's why I always email multiple people, okay? Because it just depends who's in a good mood or who knows who you know, like who knows about social media marketing. I always email multiple people if I'm serious about something. Where do I get their emails? LinkedIn, Google. I Google the company name. If it's a hotel, I call the front desk and I'm like, hello, I'm a creator and I'd love to contact your media team. Could I grab their email? And I ask their name so that I can email, hey, Alicia, got your email from the front desk, would love to work with you on X or Y. This extra effort makes all the difference, okay? So once you have the brand you want to work with, whether it's a hotel or it's a small, company or a local food company, whatever, this is a nice pitch template. You can screenshot this or just write it down. Essentially, you need to have a good subject line so that they open it. They need to open the email, right? Opportunity is a nice word. Collaboration. It depends what you're writing. I can't tell you what to put because it completely depends on your offer. But something that makes them excited to open it, okay? And then you have a short intro, a personal touch. Perhaps if you know something about them, you can say, oh, I saw the recent thing you guys did. That's such a great project. Really a huge fan. Then you can put your request. I was thinking you guys have such gorgeous yoga pants and I just started a yoga community. I would love to feature them on our page, right? What I'm offering is why. Okay. Short. Nobody wants to read an essay. Okay. Then you need to follow up. This is the part that people fail at. They just send their email and they say, I hope they see my email. Guess what? Almost every single creator I know has lost money because we're so overwhelmed and busy we can't even check all of our emails. And we miss literal people offering us money. So imagine if someone's asking for money that the brand can so easily miss it. So your responsibility is to follow up, okay? This is an example of somebody online. This is not my follow-ups. I don't follow up this much, but this is a dedicated follow-up person. This was for someone they actually met in real life, right? In the past, we used to meet people in real life at events and stuff. Remember that? So they were introduced. They met in person. He sent an email, no response. Another email, they never responded. Another email, third email. Now, the follow-up emails are not a paragraph. It's something short like, hey, just wanted to follow up and make sure you saw this. Hope you're doing well. That's it. Hey, just following up, I know it's been a crazy week. Just bringing this to the top of your inbox. Sometimes you just need to bring it to the top of the inbox, okay? And on his third email, they finally responded. They had a call. Yeah, we're best friends. And then no response again and again. So look at this. This is insane, okay? What you will notice is he never follows up more than 3 times. That's my rule. If they don't answer after 3 times, unless you really freaking want it, then you can do whatever you want. but I don't follow more than 3 times. I'm like, y'all are not interested. I'm moving on with my life. Okay. Why do I do that? Because the killers are the maybes. You don't want to waste time on someone who's like, maybe, 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 because you need to focus on someone where you can actually get a return for your input of effort, right? A maybe after 3 times is often a no. Okay. So just move on, get a yes or a no. All right. A no is fine. It just means you can focus on something else. So what types of brand deals are there? There's so many types. We're just going to focus on a few of the most common ones. When you're getting started, gifting. This is a picture of my first brand deal. It was a backpack, a Cabin Zero backpack. And the way I got this deal was from networking. So networking is really important. That's why in all of my classes, we have WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups or Facebook groups. All of the students are networking with each other. Remember I told you when I got started, I was always in these Facebook groups posting. I made a friend with a girl and she was like, hey, I work with this brand. They want to send backpacks to creators. I had like a small following at this time, but they still sent it to me and I was so excited. And it was a gift, which means there was no expectations. Now, if a brand gifts you something, is it nice to cover it if you like it? Yeah. Plus, I never had a brand deal. I was so excited. The second I got the package, I was like, hi, everyone. I'm opening this package. This is my unboxing video. And I was shooting it in my dad's backyard. Okay. But they never asked me to, right? So that's gifting. So if you have a company and you want people to cover your stuff, for example, somebody sent me peanut butter the other day, like a ton of peanut butter with chocolates, and it was so cute. And they did not ask for anything back. And that I like. And because they asked for nothing back, I did 5 Instagram stories. Normally I charge $500 per Instagram story. I did it for free because they were nice and I actually liked the product. Okay. So this is something you can do as a brand. You can send your stuff out and make sure it's awesome. And then they may want to cover it. But if they don't cover it, you should not be disappointed or you should not be mad at them because they do not need to. This is their livelihood also. And you as a creator do not have to cover it if you don't like the product. Okay. Now that's gifting. What is in kind? What is an in kind brand deal? In kind just means it's a trade. Okay. They're not giving you monies. So this is somebody who is offering me an in-kind deal. They said, this is like the typical kind of email you might get. Hi, Alyne. I'm reaching out on behalf of Duval. We had your on a channel for a while now. And you notice the email he sent me is similar to the type of email I'm teaching you to send, right? Here's a little friendly thing. There's a link to make your life easier. Here's what we're asking. Here's what we're offering. It's an exchange. We would like to send you something for free in exchange for your showing your lovely followers. Okay. I did not accept this brand deal because I don't do these types of collaborations. Also, I don't straighten my hair anymore. I'm a natural lady, you know. But if I was just getting started, like definitely I'm going to do this. This is a opportunity. But also I'm not a beauty blogger, so it would be a little weird for me to randomly hair video about straightening my hair when I talk about not straightening my hair, right? So some offers you need to turn down when they're not on brand because it can hurt your brand. I know it's exciting, but sometimes you need to say no, okay, for the sake of the brand. All right? Inbound versus outbound. Anyone who has worked in sales or at a call center like I did in college knows about inbound versus outbound. For anyone who doesn't, inbound just means if somebody's contacting you, right? If the brand says, hey, Sarah, I love your lawyer videos. Can I work with you? That's inbound. Outbound is what I showed you before. When I'm like, hey, Vakasa, can I please stay in one of your cabins? I'll do all this stuff for you in exchange. That's outbound, okay? So here's an example of an inbound email. You can't see her email, but I wanted to show you my response. So her email was inviting me to speak at an event, and it was very far away. And I was very excited, but also not excited about flying that far. So I had to charge more because this was about, a year and a half ago. My rates have changed since then. But the point is I needed to negotiate because I knew they didn't have a huge budget. So this is what I want to show you about how I personally negotiate. And I'm not necessarily the best negotiator, but this is what works for me, okay? So, hey, Kelly, thank you so much for thinking about me. You need to be nice. Negotiating doesn't mean you need to play hardball, right? You want both parties to be happy in the end. Your event looks great. I recognize a few other speakers. As you know, my content is female oriented, and then I put link. So pretty much what I'm doing in this line here is building up my credibility, right? I'm slowly building my case to justify my price later in the email. I would love to speak. My time is in high demand. This is one of my favorite sentences that you guys can steal. My time is in high demand, so I can only accept opportunities that financially, directionally, and time-wise make sense. Okay, this is a nice way of saying, like, I can't just do stuff for free all the time, guys, you know. And then I explain, from Singapore to New York is the world's longest flight. I'm doing it in a fun way, not in a complaining way. I'll be upfront with my fees, no hard feelings, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm kind of saying extra stuff I can do. Maybe I can shoot an episode there. Maybe I can do this there, right? And then what's this? Do you guys recognize this? Yes, the hamburger method. Here it is. What I can offer. I could have just said, speak at your event. Does that look great in an email? No. So I'm already going to be in New York anyways. I might as well do a panel question. I can do a workshop. I don't care. I'm there. I'm flew all the way there. I need something to do. I'll do Instagram stories, Facebook stories. I'm doing those anyways, but I'm going to make it look like it's part of the deal. An Instagram post, I would not have done that, but I added that in. And a full blog post, I would not have done that. So that's a genuine, you know, extra thing, right? I'm making it, I want it to be good for her too, right? I want her to feel happy at the end of our deal. So then I message my fee and I put an explanation for my fee that looks very long so that my fee looks very reasonable, which it is reasonable realistically. But it's not about what's reasonable or not. It's about what your client can afford, right? So how did I choose this fee, 5K, right? When sometimes I charge 10K or sometimes I charge, you know, 3K. I looked at the price of the event. I calculated how many people had gone to their event the year before. I assumed they maybe have 20% more this year. And I checked the location. It was in New York. I checked the hotels they were recommending and the price of the hotels per night. So I'm putting in homework, right? I'm putting in work. I'm not just like throwing out a random number. I'm doing my research, okay? And I kind of guessed what they could probably afford. And the bottom line is, what would I do it for? It's a lot of time out of my schedule. I wouldn't have done it for less. If she countered with less, I would have said, I'm so sorry, I can't, right? So this is an example of how to negotiate. And she accepted this and we all lived happily ever after, okay? So Outbound. How does Outbound work? This is a recent one we just did. You can, of course, edit these to match whatever you're working on. I gave you the example earlier where we were reaching out to Lush in this area. We're contacting you from Dear Alyne, hyperlink, a female-only company, to kind of, you know, build on the connection with them. We love your products. We love, you know, cruelty-free cosmetics. And we talk about our history being cruelty-free and talk about moving here. And we contacted specifically Lush in the Middle East. So every company, not every company, every major company has regional offices, right? So if you want to work with, you know, Nike, you're not going to get a response probably from Nike, but you might get a response from Nike Singapore, or Nike Malaysia, or Nike Greece, or whatever country you live in. So always consider working with regional offices. And this also works with tourism boards, because tourism boards, for example, I often work with the Taiwan Singapore Tourism Board. Very specific, right? There are tourism boards between countries. So there's like an Israel America Tourism Board. There's not just Israel Tourism, right? There's not just India Tourism. There's also like India China Tourism Board. There's so many little mini tourism boards that you can contact that don't get as many emails because people don't realize there's hundreds of tourism boards per country. They think it's just one big board, right? Okay, I'm going to show you an example of an integration, okay? And I'm sorry if the volume is loud. I can't control the volume. I'm sorry.
Before we get started, we wanted to say a big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video and supporting our travels. We're both very optimistic people. We don't like to think about things going wrong, which means that sometimes we don't take the precautions that we should.
We're about to cross the glacier while it's raining and sleeting and thundering.
However, recently we watched another traveler that we know get their Instagram account stolen, so we're trying to take our online security more seriously. And now that I've looked into it, I think a VPN is something that every traveler should be using.
So that is an example of an integration. And for those of you who watch YouTube videos, you've definitely seen these. And this is a company that, you know, I'm just starting to work with now as well. That's why I use this example. I just shot an integration for them yesterday. And the amount they were paying me wasn't necessarily a lot, but I accepted it because I love learning how companies work, remember? So even at this stage, I often prioritize learning over earning, all right? Now, once you kind of get a deal, especially if it's a bigger deal or you're working with a company or it's someone you don't really know, you probably want to have some kind of contract, okay? And if you're working with a bigger client, normally the client is going to be the one who creates the contract, but you need to read it and you need to understand it. Very important, okay? If you want to create your own contract, you can, you know, you can just, you know, screenshot this one or whatever as an example. This is one I just did with them recently. This is the one I shot yesterday. And they kind of explain exactly what you need to do here just to make sure nobody, you know, messes things up. They talk about the usage period, right? You need to not delete your video because some YouTubers will do a integration and then they'll delete the video, right? It's not very honest, right? So you need to choose the time period of how long it needs to be online. And let's say you're providing content to someone else. How long do they get to use it for, right? Do they get to put it on their website for 1 year or forever? That's up to you, but you can negotiate the price based on how long they are using it, okay? So we've already actually talked about quite a few ways to get deals with 0 followers, but now I want to talk about ways to get deals with 0 followers that specifically have to do with like travel and not working for anyone at all, just kind of one-off deals, okay? So here is a list of some of our favorite ones that I suggest to my students. Exchanges. Right? Bartering. Before there was money and cash and credit cards, there was one thing only, which was trading and bartering, okay? So all of you have some kind of skill. You speak English, that's a skill, all right? Because a lot of hotels don't. We've all been to a hotel with a menu that has some weird thing on it. It's just because they didn't know English and they wrote like cow intestines liver. And you're like, I don't think that's what this is. Google Translate did you wrong. Okay, so you can go to the hotel and be like, hello, I noticed your menu is very wrong. I could fix it in exchange for 1 night at your hotel because I'm traveling in this area. And they will say, please, thank you. Okay, what types of hotels or places should you approach? The Hilton? The Marriott? No, you should approach mom and pop places, small independent places where the owner is at the hotel so that you can get a response immediately. Chain hotels, there's a chain of command normally and it takes forever to get a response. So just target places that are boutique, small, you're getting started, even hostels, right? So 1 second. I must stay hydrated. You can take professional photographs. Even if you're not a professional photographer, you can probably take better pictures than the hotel owner, right? And you can see if they have terrible pictures on their website or on their TripAdvisor or whatever and say, hey, I have a camera or I have a fancy phone. I can take pictures and edit them for you of your hotel and make it look good. And I'll have a friend in the pictures look like they're having fun. That's something that you can offer. You can make a video for them, right? Anyone who's taken my course, this is May, one of our graduates, this is what she did. She went to different hotels in Ireland where she lives and she was like, hey, can I make a video for you guys? And in exchange, you know, you can let me stay here, or maybe she wanted money. It depends on the hotel she approached. She just would work in exchange, right? This is what I offer. This is what I ask, okay? I also have a graduate in Singapore. Maybe she's here, Cherry. She worked with the tourism board in Singapore. Her videos are not fancy. She is not a professional. I'm pretty sure she shot it on her phone and she still got a deal. Why am I telling you this? I'm trying to explain to you, you don't need to have a camera like this to get an exchange deal. You just need this. My last Facebook video about Lebanon, I made 95% on my phone, and I did that on purpose to show you you can make good videos with just your phone, okay? So no excuses, all right? Graphic design. A lot of you are probably like, have a good eye for design. That's not me, but that could be you. And so you can design a new menu for them. You can design a new brochure. You can design a new website. You can design whatever you're good at designing, right? You can say, I'm gonna go find you art for all your rooms, and your rooms are ugly. You say it really nicely. Your rooms could improve with the beautiful art. The photographs would be better on your website, right? Tell them what you can provide as value, okay? Drone shots, if any of you have a drone, that's such an easy thing to invest in. And you can get drones these days for just a couple $100s. And no hotel has a drone or knows how to drone. And you could say, I can take really cool drone shots of your hotel that you can use on your website or wherever. And I'll give those to you in exchange for letting me stay and take the shots, right? Such a great opportunity. And then, of course, there's work exchange, especially at places like hostels or boutique hotels. They often need someone at the front desk, and they let you stay there for free in exchange or pay you. Right now, I want to show you an example of a friend of ours, Mitch. Now he has almost 300,000 followers, and now he's a full-time creator. But when we met him, he had no followers, and he was just not none, but very small followers. I was just getting started, and I asked him if he could share with you guys his story because he started exactly like this. All right.
Hey guys, Mitch Summers here. I want to tell you guys quickly a little bit about how I made my first income doing what I love. To do that, I need to rewind. First, I started out in IT. I was in IT for 8 years as a software person, and that was amazing. It was great. It paid well. But then I would travel on my vacations, and I really enjoyed that feeling. I really enjoyed the people I got to meet. I enjoyed the places I got to see, the cultures, the food, all that good stuff. So I wanted a job that would allow me to control when I work, what I work on, and where I work. And so videos were one of those things. So I bought a camera. I saved up money. I saved up $45,000. And then I booked a one-way flight to the Philippines. In the Philippines, I made no money. But then I said, I have a camera. I have a drone. There's probably something I could be doing with this to earn money. And this is where there was a shift. Now, fast forward, I'm in Mauritius, my second country. And Mauritius is a small island, so I started knocking on doors. I went to some hotels. I said, hey, I'm Mitch, make videos. I put them on the internet, and I also have a drone and camera. And I noticed your website didn't really, I didn't insult their website, but I basically pointed out that they didn't really showcase how beautiful this place was. So I did this in person, and I knocked on several doors, and I got a lot of feedback. So I got a few things, free stays, and I also was able to get some paid gigs out of it. Paid photos, paid drone shots, and then some people hired me to do videos. It was amazing because I got to go on a catamaran and film a promo video and get to experience that. So that was like the very, very start, and it's just been uphill from there. So thanks for listening. Talk to you guys later. See you.
Thanks, Mitch. Okay. So hopefully that kind of gave you a background on how someone else actually did it. And this was pretty recently. So once you have this small following, you can start negotiating. This is another retreat graduate. She got paid $100 for this post, okay? They messaged her on Instagram. She talked to them. And with just 2,000 followers, she got paid to make a post, okay? Very cool, all right? These are some standard Instagram rates. We have an entire presentation in our bigger class about brandship. That's taught by Ben Gilden, who's a New York-based influencer, influence negotiator. And he kind of gives these as ballpark. Now, these are super ballpark. It depends on your engagement. It depends on a lot of other elements, but we don't have time to go into that today. I just wanted to kind of show you this so you can have an idea, all right? You can screenshot anything you want, okay? And this is gonna be recorded, so you're fine. So, to end, when do you get paid? You have 3 options. This is important to know. You can ask for 50% of your payment up front. This is what I recommend, okay? Get at least 50% up front if you don't trust them or know who they are, okay? If they really you don't know who they are or think that they might be troublesome, get all the payment up front. When I work with a new client, I get all the payment up front because I don't know who they are, okay? If it's not the Disney Channel, I don't know who you are, okay? But when I work with someone like Disney, I know they're going to pay me later. All the big companies, so the third one is 100% of payment after delivery. Almost all the major companies will pay you after, right? Now, if it's a huge brand deal later on, they might pay some of it ahead of time. Okay, you can ask for 50% up front. But often for bigger companies, it's just they have so many clients and so many payments, they have to do it in a standard way, and you don't need to worry about it in that case, okay? Just make sure you read your contract, right? So we went over a lot in the last hour, but I wanted to kind of teach you as much as I could in this time. So we talked about the different types of jobs you can do as a digital nomad, teaching English, cat sitting, blah, blah, blah. We talked about how you can make money as a content creator, tourism boards, brand deals, ad money, affiliate marketing courses. And we also learned how to pitch a brand, how to get brand deals with 0 followers, and how to monetize your content. And this was just in 1 hour, okay? So a year from now, this is one of my favorite quotes, you will wish you had started today. And this is one of the quotes that actually made me start. Because when I started, I was 28, which is a little late sometimes for creators. A lot of people start when they're younger. And you know, you can start at any age, right? I was so happy I started. And every time now I have a new goal. When I made a Dear Alyne retreats 1 year ago, I remember thinking, oh, I could put it off. I could put it off. And I was like, no, I need to do it today. 1 year from now, I want to look back and say, even if I failed, I tried. And since then, I've run 10 live retreats, 11, and I've taught over 500 students via the masterclass. So I want to tell you a little bit about the masterclass in case you're excited to learn more. And after I tell you about the masterclass, we're going to have a Q&A, and I'm happy to stay. All right. So if you want to learn more, if you feel like this was interesting and this is like your learning style, I do have a masterclass on Teachable. And this masterclass is a recording of the actual masterclass I taught live. And a lot of the students are here in the chat, and you can ask them if they liked it or not. I think they liked it because they're still here listening to this, even though they've already heard this before. So if you want to join our masterclass, what are you going to learn? Okay. You're going to learn how to make a video. That's the basis of the masterclass, how to make videos for social media. Of course, we talk about other stuff as well. So the anatomy of a video is one of my favorite classes. And this is one of my favorite slides where we talk about the angle of your video. So everyone has a video idea, right? I want to make a video about my trip to Turkey. Nobody wants to watch your trip to Turkey, right? Why should they watch it? That's the angle of your video. You have to make it interesting, and you have to provide a specific topic that is relatable and interesting to viewers. So we're going to talk about how to do that. We're also going to talk about scripting, which is so important. I cannot stress the importance. But if you never take that class, the #1 thing you need to know about scripting is your script should not look like this. It should not look like this. It is not an essay. It is a poem. It should look like this, okay? No long lines, no big words. It should look short, 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 okay? Because this is social media, right? You're not doing a dissertation, okay? We'll have an entire 1.5 hour, 2 hour class on scripting. It's the most important thing. We'll talk even more about branding yourself and pitching, and we'll actually have a practice on how to pitch yourself in real life. Because every time you meet a person, that is an opportunity to pitch yourself and to brand yourself. And I meet people every day where I don't know what they do because they don't have a good pitch. We also have guest speakers. So you're not just listening to me because that would be boring for 20 hours. We also have Project Nightfall, Agon, we have Nas Daily, we have Markian. We have so many amazing guest teachers who teach different classes, confidence on camera. We have a Q&A session. Oh, this is not Trubinsky, but we do a Q&A session with Trubinsky as well. And then we have Markian and we have Nas Daily and so many more. And I wanted to show you a few of our student success stories because I'm so proud of my little students, and we have so many more success stories than this. These are just some of our favorites. We have Lorena, who is from Mexico. And when she started, I don't think she had any following. Now she has over 200,000 in just 4 or 5 months. And she makes videos about being eco-friendly, and I love it because her videos are helping her. And now she got hired by NAS Academy, and she has a full-time job, and it's so cool. And Amy is a teacher who already had a job and didn't want to do this full-time necessarily, but it really helped her with her mental health because she was struggling during Corona, and it gave her a fun project to work on. And she grew to 15,000 followers while she was working on her mental health. No big deal. And then we have Nas, which is a different Nas, Nasser. And Nasser does kind of language and cultural videos on Instagram, and he's grown quite a lot there and has a really great community, and he got a full-time job in content creation. And we have so many more. Lily on TikTok, Kayla on YouTube, and I just love my little students, okay? So if any of you want to join this course, we have a code today for the next 24 hours that will give you 50% off. So this is the code, write it down, welcome 50. I think you need to capitalize it, I'm not sure. I think you need to.
And
you can,
actually, if you click the link in the YouTube description, the discount will automatically be applied. So I posted it in the chat as well, but anyone that clicks through from this YouTube video in the description, which we'll also send out this link later in the email, that will automatically apply the discount for you.
That is very fancy. That is fancier. Just do that instead. That is the fancier version of this. Okay, guys? So thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys learned a lot. And now I want to save some time for the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, I don't know if you're going to choose the questions, Aaron, or how that works.
I'm going to grab what I can. We are a little bit over time, but I do want to leave time for some questions. Alyne, if you have a few minutes, we'll grab as many as we could and we'll go from there. Does that sound fair?
I have many minutes, yes.
Well, while I let folks put a few questions in, one of the ones that I actually saw come up a couple times during the chat was, one is, you talked about age. At Teachable, I would definitely say it's never too old to start being a creator. I mean, really, a year from now, you'll wish you had started already. In your experience, can you highlight any success stories for folks that have started in their 30s, 40s, 50s? Like, we have those success stories at Teachable, but even for your course, just to call them out, I want to make sure it's clear to people, it's never too late to start.
It's definitely not too late. Some of my favorite accounts that I follow are like ladies with silver hair. So I'm like, okay, what's going to happen when I'm older, right? So we need more creators that are older because us younger people want to know what the future holds for us, okay? So we need you guys to make content and tell us what it's going to be like when we're older. What are the problems we're going to face? What are the things we're going to enjoy? Give us something to look forward to, right? I've had so many students in my classes that were retired, right? So I don't know how old they are because I don't ask them, but over 65 if they're retired. And these are often people who are empty nesters and they want to have a community. So they don't necessarily want to make money from this, but they want to build a community of other people who are retiring and in a certain age period, right? And I also have a good friend who teaches a Teachable course. So teaching, if you're older, that means you probably know a lot about something. So I have a friend who has a Teachable course and he's 40, 41 or 40. So not super old, but 10 years older than me. He sold like $200,000 in 2 months of this course. And he just made his Instagram like a year ago. Okay. And his course is providing so much value and helping so many people. So definitely you don't need to worry about your age.
Thank you so much. I just want to make sure we shouted it out. So one of the first questions, there's so many questions, but one of the ones I wanted to grab is just dealing with confidence, right? This person asks, how to be more confident in front of the camera, right? Especially as you're starting out, it could be a bit uncomfortable. Any tips or tricks, suggestions?
Definitely. We have an entire module about that in the course. So if you take the course, we have over an hour just talking about that. But my tips right now would be, the number one tip is remember what's more important, your message or how you look. And if how you look is more important, then you shouldn't make videos. But if your message is more important to you, then you will make videos because you want to. Guys, I know I'm traditionally like considered mostly nice looking. I understand that, but I still have so many insecurities. Like, look at me. My nose is so crooked. Please look. Okay, don't tell anyone. This is a secret. My nose is super crooked. My mouth, I talk out of one side of my mouth. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret, okay? But like, there's so many things. My hair is so crazy. Like, I love it now, but I was so insecure about it. We all have insecurities, right? So we have to say, okay, am I going to focus on all these things where I'm like, wow, Alyne, you look real crazy? Or am I going to say, you know what? I need to share what I've learned and I need to talk about these important topics and who cares how I look? Now, the ideological issues aside, what can you actually do to be more comfortable? Practice. Do a 30-day challenge. That's what I tell everyone. Day 1, talk to your phone, cringe at yourself. And then day 2, rewatch your video and say, okay, I'm not going to judge myself, but I could have maybe done this better. So today I'm going to speak more clearly. And then you record another 30-second video. And the next day you watch it and you go, you're not judging. You're just trying to improve, right? So you're like, okay, I spoke more clearly, but I kept looking like to the side of the camera. I wasn't looking at the lens. So today I'm going to look at the lens. Do this for 30 days. No one needs to see it but you.
Thank you so much for that. I had a question queued up. I lost it in the flood of new questions.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to put on the screen for you. But the question is, how do you deal with the haters, right? Anyone who produces content, you're always going to get comments. It's inevitable. You know, there's obviously positive, but hate is inevitable if you're putting something out on the internet. How do you deal with that?
I have a 90-minute class about this. Guys, any topic question you ask me, I have a 9-hour answer. I'm going to add that one to the Teachable course, actually, because it's not here currently. I'm going to add it next week because I recorded it somewhere else. But the way that I deal with haters is there's so many ways, right? You can deal with them with humor. You can respond like with jokes. That's my favorite one. Oh, recently I went to Lebanon and some people were really happy about it. And some people were like not happy about it. And the not happy ones were leaving me super mean comments. I got death threats. And to some of the mean comments that were really long, I just responded like, hi, thank you so much for your comment. Your long comment means a lot to me. It means you're a big fan because it really helps the algorithm and it helps more people see my content. Thank you so much. And that just is like funny to me. And it really pisses them off because they're like, wait, I'm helping her. I didn't make her angry, because they're leaving these mean comments to get a reaction from you. And they're leaving these mean comments because, you know, they're insecure about their lives, right? Someone who's more successful than you will never insult what you're doing, right? Do you think Will Smith is like, let me use my free time to write mean comments? No, he's busy doing something useful with his life. So anyone who's commenting mean stuff, you know, you can have compassion for them. Yes.
Couldn't agree more. It's always talking down. Anyone who's actually producing things of value, they're not going to come troll you.
They are busy.
Exactly. Too busy. So another question that came up, and I know people ask this all the time, is if someone wants to take your course, you know, do they need any special equipment? You know, they're like, is just having access via their phone enough? Like, I know you said you've part of your course is talking about how just the phone is something you can get started with. You know, on the record, can you kind of repeat, what do you recommend taking your course?
Sure. So to actually take the course, I guess that depends on Teachable. I'm guessing you can just watch it on your phone, right? They have the Teachable app.
Any web browser or the app, you can access any of the course content. It's just like anything with the YouTube link you can access.
No, so just your phone is fine. Like I said, I shot my entire video in Lebanon. I mean, I can't say entire because I probably took 1 or 2 shots with my camera, but I could have done it with my phone. And I did it with my phone. Like it has like at least 500,000 views, right? So you don't need a fancy camera, just a phone. Now, your phone needs to have at least ideally 1080p, right? That's just what, you know, so it's not blurry. It doesn't look like you filmed it with a potato, right? So you should have just a phone. And if you want a fancy camera, fine. But the truth is, I'm going to segue to using only my phone. Now, one thing you will need is some kind of editing software, right? Because you need to edit your video. So could you edit on your phone? Yes, some people do. I would find that painful personally and a terrible process. But if you have a laptop in the course, I recommend completely free software that you can use. So you don't need to pay anything for editing software. So you can just have a professional editing software for free. Yeah. It's called DaVinci, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you for that. One question I just wanted to answer really quickly is folks asked, how long do you have access to the course for? It's lifetime access. If you buy that course, it's not like you have to watch it today. You know, I have bought many classes from folks I've hosted these workshops with, and I'm only halfway through half of them because I learn these workshops too. Let me grab. With a few minutes left, I just want to grab at least one more question. Oh, okay. Someone also asked this question, which is, are the courses in the masterclass live or pre-recorded? Those for the most part, I'd imagine those are pre-recorded, but you know, is there any live components that we should highlight or ability to interact with yourself or Ate?
Sure. For the masterclass, this masterclass on Teachable, it's recorded, but I do respond, not to all of them, but to as many comments as I can, because there's a commenting thing. And every Friday I take 2 hours and I go to respond to as many as I can. We also have a Telegram group, and I'm in the Telegram group. So I'm in that group kind of checking if people have questions, if they're interested. All of the students are there. We also have a Facebook group, so you guys can interact with each other. The only classes I'm teaching live currently are like the taboo topics class, the ones I teach with Nas Academy live. So those are live classes. They're different content, like the crash course or taboo topics. And once I teach those live, maybe 3 or 4 times, I'll move them over to Teachable later. But I teach them first live and then I move them to Teachable Because when I'm teaching live, I prefer to teach new topics because I get bored teaching the same thing over and over. That's why I made this into a teachable class, because I was going to stop teaching live and I was like, I feel bad for everyone who didn't get to take the retreat. So I should put it somewhere so people can learn this stuff. It's like, it's good stuff. I don't want to waste it. Yeah.
Well, folks, we are at time. I apologize. I know we didn't get to all the questions, but before we sign off, I did want to say for everyone who joined, who's still with us, and it is quite a few people, let's thank Alyne in the chat. Let's thank Ate for helping out and really, supporting us in the comments. We can't thank you enough for contributing this incredible knowledge today. For everyone who asked, again, the replay will be available if you want to rewatch any of the incredible pieces, because you really did jam so much knowledge into like 1 hour. We're going to sign off just a second. Let's thank Alyne in the comments because she'll have access to these after. We really appreciate you joining us on this Friday night or Saturday morning, wherever you are. With that, let's say goodbye. We'll sign off in a second.
And if this is on YouTube, I can try to go respond to some on YouTube. So
it will be on YouTube. So
awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.